The biggest sporting event in the world is almost here. And no, I'm not talking about baseball's World Series. That's just a championship represented by the top league of a single country. The World Cup of Soccer? That's a global sport. The World Series of Baseball? That's just arrogance. I'm talking about the Olympics. Every 2 years, the world becomes obsessed with a bunch of sports that we haven't seen or thought about since the last Olympics. Let me ask you, when was the last time you thought about archery, fencing, or, God forbid, throwing a discus? But we're all going to be glued to our TVs for 2 straight weeks watching every single athlete, no matter how crazy the competition. Of course, that just asks the question, can you really call some of them athletes? Especially equestrian riders, since a horse is doing all the damn work. And what about skateboarders? I always thought of them as angry kids taking out their frustrations on society by destroying public property and pissing off the neighborhood. But now, instead of nuisances, we have to call them athletes. There is athleticism involved, so I kind of understand it, at least more than I understand something like shooting, which has been an event since the founding of the modern Olympics. That may have made sense back in the day, but how are shooters athletes? And how is this even classified as a sport? Besides, with all of the gun problems in the world today, do we really want to reward the marksmanship of snipers? What about the ones we don't reward? You know, the pissed off losers. You remember that they have guns too, right? And that they're really good with them even if they didn't win? If you ask me, keeping shooting as an Olympic event is a questionable decision at best. You know what else is a questionable decision? Adding breakdancing. Yeah, that's new for 2024. Come on, that's not a sport. It's performance art. Telling your friends you were a breakdancer was hard enough back in the 1990s, the last time someone cared about it. Why would you want to admit you still do it to a global audience now? To make it worse, imagine walking behind your flag in the opening procession with all the other athletes, and then realizing that you're the only one wearing a tracksuit with a wife beater and a backwards ball cap. It's a small consolation, but at least you'll be able to pass that cap around for tips after your show. In an amazing display of stupidity, they dropped baseball, a real sport, in order to make room for breaking. That must be incredibly disappointing to the legions of worldwide fans out there. Oh wait, never mind. There are no legions of worldwide baseball fans, just Americans and a handful of other countries. The worst part about all of this is the irony behind it. Because regardless of how I personally feel about something or someone being called a sport or an athlete, I'm still going to watch the shit out of all of it. It's the Olympics, dog. I'll be there for every second because of the way it makes me feel. These games are designed to pull at your patriotic heartstrings. From the moment that cauldron is lit, you either want to root for your own country or defect to one where you can live a better life. It takes people from different socioeconomic backgrounds with conflicting beliefs and faiths and turns them into families with a unified goal, watching your flag being hoisted in the air as you stumble through the words of your own national anthem. I can't wait. Anyway, that's my opinion. But what the hell do I know? I'm just a dog.